If you're cleaning a customer's house and you're using their vacuum and it breaks, are you as the house cleaner responsible for fixing it? It's a great question, and we're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, whatever it is, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by housecleaning360.com. There are paid and free listings, but if you are a house cleaner, you want to race over there right now and make sure that you have a business listing so that when I send people over there, they find you. Now, I get hundreds of calls a day. People are like, hey, I live in Iowa. Do you know a house cleaner I could hire? And I don't have time to stop and sort through my database of friends, but I say, yes, go to housecleaning360.com, do a search for your zip code, and you'll find some house cleaners there. So it's a referral network where we're all promoting and helping each other. And it's not just house cleaners, it's professional organizers, it's gutter cleaners, it's pressure washing guys, it's carpet cleaning guys, window washers, the whole group of folks that service the home. So housecleaning360.com. Come be a part of our network. All right, now today's show comes from a house cleaner who has this question.
Good morning, Angela. You are the best. I love your show. My question to you is, are cleaning companies liable or responsible for items such as vacuums that we use in clients' homes and just the wear and tear of that vacuum? Like, we're talking an older vacuum that just stops working one day, and it may stop working when we're using it. So are we liable to replace that vacuum? Another scenario is toilet that the flushing mechanism doesn't work, we flushed it and the water didn't flush out. So we had to manually flush this toilet in order to rinse the product. And as we're cleaning the toilet, obviously we need to rinse it. So are we liable for replacing the mechanism, the flushing mechanism, or even the toilet itself? These are two scenarios that we've gotten from two different clients lately. And we're not talking about like we damaged, like if we broke something, we always pay for things that we break. But these are things that may or may not have been while we were using them or touching them. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, that's a really tough question, but the answer is this. No, you are not responsible for repairing the customer's vacuum. That is the customer's issue. That is the customer's belonging, and they're going to take care of that. Now, when you do your initial walkthrough, you're going to explain to the customer, and this is if you decide that you're going to use the customer's vacuum. There are companies that decide they're going to buy their own vacuums and maintain them. But for the small mom and pop companies, I do recommend that you use the customer's vacuum because you don't have time to clean and sanitize it between each of the houses that you clean in the course of a day. So if you're using the customer's vacuum on the walkthrough, you say, hey, listen, I'm going to be bringing my supplies and I'll be using your vacuum. That's how my company operates. And then you explain, I expect when I arrive, your vacuum will be clean and it will be in working order. So that's your job to check on that and just make sure that I have working equipment when I arrive. When I leave, I'm going to make sure that your vacuum is in working order and that it's empty. And so you guys have this agreement. They're going to leave it ready for you and you're going to leave it ready for them. Now, if it's an old vacuum and it breaks on the job, that's a possibility. And so you have to tell the customer up front. If a customer says, hey, I got a 30-year-old vacuum, say, hey, listen, during the course of our time together, you may have to upgrade that. I just want to let you know it may break any day. And they go, yeah, okay. And so I will make a recommendation at that time when it's time for you to buy a new one based on all the different vacuums that I've used and one that's easy for you in your home. And so you can make a recommendation. And there are a lot of times I've gone into a customer's house and their vacuum was not in working order. They'd vacuumed something up with the hose, like a little plastic toy or something, and I got caught in the hose. And then I would go to, vacuum and there's no suction. And so then I have to stop and I go out to my car and I get my backup vacuum. And I recommend that you do carry a backup vacuum in case this happens. There will be times when you get to a customer's house and either you're in the middle of a job and the vacuum breaks or it's broken already when you get there. Then you just flip the worksheet over and on the blank side of the sheet, you just write a note. Hey, when I arrived today, your vacuum was broken. I was unable to finish the job. I used the vacuum from the back of my car. It was sanitized when I arrived. I just want to let you know that, we need a new vacuum before I arrive again. One that I might recommend is, and then you can leave recommendations of your favorite vacuum on that worksheet. Okay, so that's how that works. You are not responsible to replace or buy the customer a new vacuum because I had an old vacuum and it just fell apart or broke or was not maintained properly or whatever. Okay, so that's not your job. Your job is not to be replacing vacuum bands and vacuum bags and all that stuff. Not your job. You come in and your job is to vacuum. That's it. You need working equipment when you arrive. Right now for the toilet issue, this is a completely separate issue, and it has nothing to do with you or the customer. It has to do everything with the toilet. Now, the toilet is designed with a little rubber piece, and the rubber piece is a little flapper, and it goes over the pipe where the water goes out of your toilet. And they erode over the course of time. They last for 2 or 3 years. I know that in the house we live in, I've replaced all of those flappers at least once or twice, and we've been in this house for about 10 years. So, they erode after a while, and they're either red, green, or black. So if you lift off the tank of the toilet lid, and you look inside, you're looking for something that's red, green, or black. Those are the standard colors. And they're very small. They just fit over the hole, and they're connected to a little pipe or a little string or a chain, and it hooks onto the handle. When you flush the handle, the little lid goes up and down. And when the rubber disintegrates, it doesn't go up and down anymore, and that's why the toilet doesn't flush. So in order to fix that, it's between $1 and $5, depending on where you buy that little flapper. But they're available everywhere. They're available at Walmart, they're available at Target, they're available at Home Depot and Lowe's and all the different supply stores like Ace Hardware. And so if you're a member of Savvy Perks, of course, you can get a 15% discount should you decide to replace the one in your house. Okay, the thing that's important to remember is it's just a small part. And so you might just tell the customer, hey, the flap on your toilet is busted. It's just a couple bucks. You can replace that. Or if you like, I can bill you for it and I can bring one with me when I come back next time. Now, if you decide to do that, you may want to cushion a little bit in there so that you are paying for your time of replacing that. It takes 5 minutes to replace. It's not a big job at all. And there are lots of YouTube videos. In fact, I'll link to some in the show notes on how to replace that flapper, so you know exactly what you're looking for and how to replace it. But this is not something you would call your insurance for. This is not something that you're going to end up paying for out of your own pocket. This is just something that happened at the customer's house. Now, this is separate, like you said. This is separate from you breaking things at the customer's house. So if you knock something off because you were clumsy or something, and it shatters to the floor and it breaks and it's a little statue or it's some kind of ornament or something, then yes, you do have to replace that. But if these are regular wear and tear household items that you are using and the customer knows there's wear and tear in their house, like on the vacuum, for example, or the toilet, that's stuff that the homeowner is going to take care of. So don't get worried about that. Just say, oh yeah, you know what, that happens all the time. The homeowners take care of it. It's no big deal. And don't take responsibility for it. Don't say, oh, well, let me fix that for you. Sure, I broke it. No, it's just, that's just part of normal wear and tear. Don't let the customer push you around, please. And just be very aware that this happens all the time. There are things that break in customers' homes. There you go. All right, so I hope that helps a little bit. If it did, please pass it on to a friend. Maybe you can help someone else out. You never know. All right, until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.